We are live. Hello, everybody. You should be able to see us. You should be able to hear us. I'm pretty sure you can. So I can do my own monitor on that. Are you here? We are live. Yep. Hello, everybody. You should be able to see us. Yep, everything's working fine. Okay. Hi, Laura. Hi, Christine. Hi, Jeannie. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Margaret. Yes, we are having a nice sunny day here.
It's 24 today, and Celsius, which is about 75.
Well, what's the not the UV? What's the humidity? Because it felt warmer when we went out earlier.
I'm not sure what the humidity is. So you're asking me too many questions.
Well, you usually have the answers, and if you don't, you'll make them up, won't you? Liar. Hi, Wendy. So we'll get started here in a second. Hope everybody's doing okay today. Happy post July 1st. Well, don't worry about it. Post Canada Day for the Canadians, and for the Americans, happy 4th of July tomorrow.
Humidity is 40%.
Actually, it wasn't the humidity I wanted. I wanted the humidex.
Oh.
Because that changes the temperature. But it
says
doesn't matter.
It feels like 24.
Oh. Well, it's warm. Okay, whatever. Hi, Suzanne. Hi, Glenna. Okay, and hi, Patsy. And if you haven't hit that like button, just saying. I mean, everybody says that.
Everybody says that.
Everybody says that. Yeah, everybody does. Oh, bite me hard.
We have a joke about that, everybody thinks.
Yeah, it was one of my mother's expressions every time she said something.
Every time she wanted you to think that something was the best thing in the world, she'd say, everybody else says that.
Everybody says so. Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't know who everybody else was. Hi, Ron. So anyways, let's get started. So what's Walter been working on? He's been being an idiot. He's been making idiot moves. It's not just me. Tell me about your idiot moves.
What?
Well, you were having problems with your stuff.
Well, no, I was trying to finish up a shirt and I was cover stitching it and it wasn't stitching properly. And well, first thing I realized that I threaded it wrong. So it doesn't help.
Idiot.
And I think I got to change the needles because it's still not stitching right. So,
have you cleaned your machine lately?
Yeah, I clean it all the time. I just think I think one of the needles might be bent. So,
well, everybody says so. So I don't know. Well, bent needle suits yourself too. Teresa, hello. And Marjan, hello. Well, Marjan, that's another. You're not getting a gold star then. You come late, no gold star for you. It's just too bad. So, but what else? You were screwing around with your pocket on a shirt.
Yeah, I was putting the shirt. I had a shirt upstairs that I hadn't put a pocket on yet, so I went to put a pocket on. And I was a little bit. I matched it to the front. Well, I had done that in a while, and I accidentally. It's over 3/8 of an inch further than I wanted it to be.
Oh my God! Say it isn't so. How could you possibly have done that? I don't understand. See, I like to give him a razz about it because he would certainly do it to me on a basis of every day, really, about the whole thing. But, so anyway, so that's what you've been working on. Well, you've been doing other things, haven't you?
Yeah, like charging the battery in your car. And,
I don't drive my car very much, so the battery kind of dies. And we were actually, I got my hair cut last week and I needed my car to go there. So we tried it the day before and it wouldn't turn over. So Walter put the charger on it. And then it took the charge and everything. And I got down to the hairdressers and got back home and everything.
But it hasn't gone out
since.
And we've been wanting to take it out. But then we tried it again today.
And the car tried to lock me in.
Yeah, because there were power locks.
I didn't know that would happen.
There wasn't enough power to unlock them.
So I'm sitting inside the car, and he's just like wandering around, looking for the charger, doing whatever. I'm sitting inside the car, like I'm in a box.
Yeah, but I
can't
figured
get out.
as soon as I could got the charger on there, it would give you enough power
Well,
to
then
open
I
the
thought,
door.
well, wait, what about my key fob? Maybe that'll work. So I clicked that, and that got me out.
Oh.
I am a claustrophobic, you know. I don't like it when I'm sealed into things. Even a car. I'm not that fond of being sealed in.
There's
So
something nice about you being trapped in a box.
yeah, like I felt like a mine. Let me out, let me out, let me out, let me out, kind of a thing. You were such a help with that, you know.
And
So
if I left you in there long enough, would you die?
do I look like a newborn that's been left in their car when they run in for 5 hours into a grocery store, which is kind of sad, and I'm not trying to make fun of something like that. Actually, there was one of those cases happened here in Ontario back last week, and she was a teacher. She was going to school, high school teacher. She had her kid in the car seat in the car. She usually drops the kid out or something. Or
She usually drops them off at a daycare.
that's right.
But some reason she either thought she dropped him off at the daycare or had her mind on something else, and she drove him to school. She
drove herself to school with the kid in the car seat.
got out of the car
yeah.
and taught lessons all day, and while the kid suffocated.
Yeah, kid died from it as well. Now the grandfather, he said, well, she had some very serious things on her mind at school and whatnot. I don't think that's a good excuse. You know, I don't have children, but I cannot imagine how you can forget that you have a kid in a car seat in your car when you go to work. I don't get that at all. I'm sorry. I don't care what was on her mind. There's no excuse for that, and it ended in tragedy, and that'll haunt her for the rest of her life, I'm sure. So that's just not good. But you hear about this every summer, and the one that really gets me too is the people who go and they leave an animal in the car for several hours. You know, come out and you got baked pooch on that. I mean, if they would do it with an animal, they'd do it with a kid. That's what my father always said. You can tell how people are with their children. If they're cruel to their animals, they'll be cruel to their kids. My dad always said that. So, and I think he's right as well. Cheryl says with heat index, it's 95 in Kansas City.
Laura, it happened in Bancroft.
Mm-hmm. Which isn't that far from us, really. It's just northeast of us by about an hour and a half or so with it all. I mean, I'm sure she did not do it intentionally, but I just can't get my mind around the fact that you would forget that there's a child in your car. I mean, what was going on at school? I've gone through a lot of things in days when I was a teacher too that, take your mind other ways, but I mean, not to the point where you could forget that you've got a small child in a car in the heat. I can't fathom.
The kid was only 2 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's not exactly quiet.
Yeah. And Teresa says, I hate that, makes me real angry. And you know what else makes me angry about it is it also makes me wonder what kind of teacher she is. Teachers are considered, although there are exceptions to the rule, fairly intelligent people. And she works with children. There's so many things wrong with this. I just don't think there's an excuse for it. I really don't. And I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, would she be charged with something, or would she be charged with manslaughter? I don't know how that works.
She has been charged, yeah.
I don't know.
Cheryl says she gets to close her garage door sometimes. Yeah, well, we do those things, but that doesn't. But that doesn't jeopardize a life.
Of life and death either. I mean, yeah, we all forget things. You forget where you put your something or other, or you may have forgotten an appointment or something. But those are not life-altering events. Leaving a small child in a hot car, that's a life-altering event, Needle Smith says, dang, I almost missed you again. I was watching the Kate Jackson at Last Homely House and ran along. Yeah, I'm going to watch her later. I always watch her later with that too. Wendy says, child and garage door. You can't even compare the two, really. No, you can't. You can't. I don't know any more about it. Laura, do you know? Are the police investigating?
I know I read some more that, they are looking into it. I don't know exactly what the result was yet. I haven't looked back at the story.
I mean, I don't know what the judgment would be on something like that, because already this woman is suffering. I mean, there's no two ways. She'll suffer the rest of her life, you know? But at the same time, it was negligence, to say the least. It's manslaughter. You know?
I think endangering the life of a child or something.
Yes, that's the other thing. I wonder if she has any other children, older children, or where. Because
I gathered this was her first kid.
Well, it might be her last. That isn't a nice thing to say, but really, the truth be, I mean, does she really want to have any more children after something like this? I mean, she'll be in psychotherapy for the rest of her life. Hi, Marilyn. But anyways, that's real happy stuff, isn't it? I don't know how we got on it, but we talked about the heat. But it happens every summer, and you hear about the animals and that.
Yeah, and there's always somebody that's got a dog or something in a car, and they leave them in there, and they intend to just, a lot of times that happens at the malls. Oh, I'm just going in to get a few things, and they go wandering through the mall and forget the fact that they've been in there for a while. And it gets hot in the car. So
see, there's another thing. Now, we don't own a dog, but I don't understand people who take their dogs with them when they need to do grocery shopping, or they need to go to the mall, or need to pick something up. If you're only going to be gone for, I mean, I know dogs have to be walked, but dogs are on pretty much a routine for that, I believe. From at least looking around this neighborhood, you can set your watch by who's walking their dog when. And I mean, is it that important that you take the pooch with you?
A lot of them take, around here anyway, they go to a dog park and they take the dog in the car to take him to the dog park, which...
Well, that's okay, because
yeah, I know, but what if they go and take their dog to the dog park and stop off at the mall for something?
Well, don't do that.
No, I know that.
Just don't do that. I mean...
Yeah, I know you'd think that you'd have more sense than to do that, but you know...
If you have a pet, it's like being a parent, I think. You are responsible for a life, you know? And there's too many people...
And some of them think that if they crack a window open,
that's
okay, that's enough. But that's not enough if it's hot. So.
No. I mean, that's just... Actually, I think that upsets me more if I see that with an animal than a child. Oops, that's not true. That's not true. No. But anyways, such is life, I guess. So moving on, what have I been up to? Well, I've been working on Christmas presents. Yes, I know, it's July and it's hot. Perfect time for thinking of Christmas. But let me just switch some things over here so I can show you. Okay, so these aren't actually, what I'm about to show you now isn't a Christmas present. There was a freebie download from, I think it was Creative Kiwi for embroidery to make this leaf design. And then they had, I paid $3 Australian, which is $3 Canadian, basically. That's what I like about buying stuff from Australia. No conversion, really. The money's pretty much the same within a penny or two. But this was $3 for the leaf design, and it came in about 3 different sizes. And then they had a freebie, though, which was the base for a Canadian flag. It was for Canada Day, which is kind of funny because Australia...
I thought Creative Kiwi was New Zealand.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's New Zealand. That's right. I stand corrected once again. You're so good. You're so perfect. Whatever. Anyways, I did download the base for the Canadian flag, but I thought, nah. What am I going to do with that? But I thought these were kind of interesting. So I thought, let's make a bunch of them. And I didn't sew them together. I fabric glued them together, and I made them in 4 different sizes and spread them out. And so this is what I'm doing with them. They sit, if I get my thing to work here, they sit on our coffee table in our family room, and I think they're just kind of a nice little tabletopper accessory kind of a thing. So, I don't know. Walter doesn't like them.
I didn't say I didn't like them.
You didn't say you liked them.
They look nice.
Okay, that means, yeah, okay, they're fine. Whatever with it. But I think they're kind of a neat little thingy, just for, decor. in the summer. I'll leave them out there for a while. I could make them in fall colors and just replace them with fall ones. Something different from doing like a table runner or something like that, you know? So that, and now I have been working on table runners for Christmas. These are not done yet. That's why they're hanging up there. This morning I made the binding for each one. Friday and yesterday I threw them all on Lucy and quilted them. I had a little problem with the last two that I did up there. You can't really see it, but the pattern doesn't really... the pattern is fine. To the untrained eye, you wouldn't see that there was a problem, but for some reason, I ran out of bobbin thread, and I could not get Lucy to cooperate and go back to where I had left off, because things are done in what they call zones. And so after a lot of farting around, of course, Walter came downstairs to assist. You know,
well, I did help you.
How did you help me?
Well, you kept saying it was out of your zone, and your zone wasn't big enough.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, fine. Yeah, well, whatever. Anyways, I got it kind of figured out. I have since looked at a video on what happens and how when you run out of bobbin thread or thread break in the middle of something and how to get back to where you need to be. But if you take a look, what I'm talking about is you take a look at this one right here. See this gap? There should be quilting, like up in here. There should be quilting up in there, but I could not get the machine to go to the next zone to get it into there. And like now that I've pointed it out to you, you'll see it, but you really don't notice it.
You've got a gap up higher.
Oh,
too.
far off. Because I had a little problem there too.
Oh.
Never mind. At least if anything, I'm consistent. So screw up.
Well, luckily you're taking that course in August.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Can you spell asshole?
I remember
Walter.
I remember when we went to see Tracy, she was showing you what to do.
Yes, I know, but I had forgotten how to do that, and I sort of looked into it, but now I know. I've got a video tutorial on how to do it, and I will do it from there. But you know, anyways, I'm going to get got the binding all made, and I just have to put it on, and that'll be 6 things in my coffers. And I've started cutting up the pieces I need for this little Christmas wreath wall hanger that uses the little twister rulers, which I've talked about on Etiquette Quilter before, and I'll be talking about them on Tuesday again about that design. What are people saying? Sue. Hi, Sue. Just joining on the TV, so I'm giving a well-deserved thumbs up on the phone before I start quilt wrestling, also known as pin basting. Oh, yeah. That's always fun, the pin basting. Wendy says, make them into a swag.
Huh?
A swag.
Or is that maybe the leaves?
Yeah, I think that's what she means, the leaves. But I'm trying to think, though. See, when I hear the word swag, I think of those lamp fixtures, light fixtures that people used to have for a long time, you know, with the cord hanging down, and they called them swags. So I'm not sure what Wendy's talking about. Maybe Wendy, you can fill me in.
Maybe it's like those things, those banners and stuff.
Oh, maybe. Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, you could do that. Actually, you could do something like that in Christmas colors, you know, put along your mantelpiece or something like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things you could do with those. Although maple leaves are not really something associated with Christmas, but
You could do snowflakes or something.
well, then I'd have to get a design. Well, if that's okay, I probably have one. Yeah, that's true. Thanks, Laura. Hi, Jan. Needlesmith says, did you have a long arm sewing machine before you went to Lucy? No.
He just has a regular sewing machine with a deep throat.
Yeah. There's a joke in there somewhere. Yeah, no, I just have a domestic sewing machine, but it has a 13.5-inch throat space in it, and that's what I was quilting on for quite a while. Ron says, send Walter to the car. Yeah, that's a good idea. Teresa says, we have a Christmas wreath made with the little twister, added a bow. Really like it. Small project, taught it as a workshop. I think that's the one I'm doing, Teresa, right now. It's flat, right? And it's done with the little twister, the smallest one. And I saw that. Hi, Teresa. I saw that pattern back some time ago, well, last year before Christmas, at Quilter Quilting, where one of my other favorite quilt stores. And at the time, they kind of put me off it. So a lot of little pieces, and I thought, well, I'm not doing that. But we were in there this past week, and picking up, because I got the 5-inch cube now for the Acu quilt. We went in, and I happened to say to them, by any chance, do you have the pattern for that Christmas wreath made with the little twister? And they said, yep. And I got it. And then I had to buy the little ruler because I didn't have one the right size. I had to buy it because it's the tiniest one. And so today I cut all the squares out on Crafted Chat this coming week. We'll talk about that in a minute. I think that's what I'll be working on. I'm hoping to have these other table runners done by then. But yeah, so that's what I've been working on. And a couple of announcements. Reminder, International Stitch Marathon. I'm getting really tired of talking about this. July 22nd. Everything's in the show notes below. Check it out if you're interested in attending. It's free. Come as you want. Come, go as you please. Work on whatever. Have fun. Yay. More importantly, Craft and Chat is this week, July the 6th. That's the first Wednesday of the month. All are welcome, as you know. And I might be actually conducting an interview during Craft and Chat with somebody who's been a regular at Craft and Chat. I haven't heard back from her yet, whether that's going to be okay or not. So we'll see. Because my idea is if I can do a live one while we're in Craft and Chat, then people can ask the interviewee questions. The only reason I'm not saying her name right at the moment is just because I haven't got confirmation that that's okay with her. So we'll wait till then. But yep, everybody is welcome. Work on whatever you want to work on. We start at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, go to approximately 4 p.m. And it's always fun. Okay. Needlesmith says, have you done a tutorial with the twisters? I'm not familiar with them. No, I have not. But I probably could do a part of a tutorial. And maybe I will. So when I get started working on this and starting to cut out the pieces using that ruler, maybe I'll do a little short, little 5-minute thing that I can put into the Idiot Quilter episode so you can see how they work. But there actually are YouTube videos that show you how to use these. It essentially is a square template with a couple lines that are done sort of off center, and you match it up with the seams of this strip panel that you make, and you cut it, and what you end up with is sort of this windmilly looking block that they're kind of different, that they're kind of neat. It does waste a little bit of fabric when you do this, so if that's something you're really concerned about, it doesn't waste that much. But I know some people really get uptight about things that waste fabric, any fabric at all. So they stay away from those. So if you're one of those kind of people, then you might not want to do this. But otherwise, it's kind of interesting. But yeah, maybe I'll put up a little 5-minute video. Probably not this week, but maybe the week after or something like that. Where keep saying? Jan's going to be there Wednesday. Okay, great, Jan. And yeah, I hope to see lots of people there. It's always fun. For those of you that don't have to work, of course. Sorry about that. There may be a pop-up sewing day, though, for those of you that do work on the 16th of July. Maybe. Haven't made up my mind about that yet. And you know, usually I don't do that until 24 hours before. But just sort of a heads up for those of you, I might do one on July the 16th. It will be my happy birthday pop-up. That's not actually the day of my birthday. My birthday falls 2 days before that. So, but maybe. We'll see. Will there be cake? I don't know. Probably not. Will there be birthday pie?
Maybe.
Don't know. Probably not. So, okay. So those are two reminders. So what did we, speaking of parties and birthdays? So Canada Day was Friday, and we went to a party. First party we've been to since before COVID. Um, this is a friend of ours who throws one of these every year, but he hasn't been able to for the last 2 years.
Canada Day.
Canada Day, yeah. What?
No, it was Canada Day party.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I thought you said just a party.
No, I said Canada Day.
I didn't hear that.
I stand corrected. Okay. You know, I never make any mistakes because Walter won't let me. I can't get away with them. Anyway, so yeah, so off we went to a place next door to us. Actually, it's where my sister lives, a place called Bowmanville. And there were a lot of people there. I don't know. I think there was probably 50.
Yeah, if not more.
I think at the height of it. And he just tells you to bring a lawn chair and bring your own booze, kind of a thing, and he does all the cooking and the food. Now it is deep fryer suicide because he has an industrial strength deep fryer in his garage, and he deep fries everything.
He makes homemade potato chips too, and actually they taste really good.
Yeah, he made them into like a nachos too. He had these homemade potato chips that were in the deep fryer, and he threw all this cheese on it. Well, you know, what's not to like about that? So you don't go with the idea that you're going to keep your waistline.
A lot of people brought stuff too, like food and salads and stuff like that.
Yeah, we took a veggie tray because we
so
figured something healthy might be a good idea.
Yeah, and a lot of people brought food, and so there was a lot of food.
Yeah, there was a ton of food, but boy, they were piggies at the trough up there because they started to put out the salads. So I think they had every type of potato salad that's ever been made to man, including one that was pink.
Part of the problem is people started lining up for food before all the food was done. So
you could tell there was an older crowd because it was 4:00 when they were lining up for food.
And then
early bird special.
So they all started got food, and it was mostly salads and stuff like that. And they hadn't put out. I guess they had ribs and chicken wings and hamburgers
and hot dogs
and hot dogs.
Because on Father's Day. Okay, this crowd was a mixture between straights and gays and lesbians and those in between there as well. And he had family there too and all that kind of stuff. So really, you couldn't tell who was gay without a poster. Well, not in all cases. There were a few of them. They opened their mouth and the ruby slippers fell right out. But kind of a thing. But he had so there was all this food. And he has his grandchildren or children, I guess. He was a born again gay, came out later in life. They gave him for Father's Day a grill, like a propane grill, flat grill kind of thing that they use in restaurants. Idea. And so he was doing hot dogs and ribs and burgers all on that. He had deep fried chicken wings. He did deep fried tortilla chips, kind of a thing, as well with salsa. Like I said, if you had a cholesterol problem, it went right out the roof at that one as well. But he always does a fantastic job, and there's a ton of food, as we said. So it was kind of fun. It was nice to get out, although just before we went on Facebook, a couple of guys that we know that were coming to this party canceled out coming because one of them had developed a cough and he did a COVID test and he tested positive. Of course, he'd also been at the Pride Parade in Toronto the weekend before. And these people are known for being party-hardy kind of people at events like that, so I am not surprised. I mean, there was 1.7 million people at Pride last weekend.
In Toronto.
In Toronto. And you are not doing social distancing because they're all lined up to see the parade and everything else. And it's like this. That's one reason why we don't go, as we said last week.
And plus there's variants. The new variants of Omicron are taking hold in Ontario.
So you know what happened with me? As soon as I read that he had gotten this, I'm going paranoid with it. And we debated. Should we go or shouldn't we go? I mean, it was an outside party and everything like that, but they've lifted the mandate on masks. It's up to the individual whether they want to wear one or not. And we're still wearing a mask when we go out for shopping for the most part. We're slowly easing off on that, but we're still not comfortable in certain environments. But I mean,
if I'm in a store and there's practically nobody in the store, then
yeah,
it's not that big of a deal. But I mean, if I'm in a store and it's packed in there,
yeah. So we kind of debate it, but I really want it to go because, like I said, we haven't been to anything in over 2 years, and so we went, and so far we're fine out of it, and nobody was there seemed to be, showing any signs or anything like that of anything. So, and for the most part, I guess people were being fairly cautionary with it. However, there's always the huggers. I hate the huggers. I hate the huggers when it's not even when it's not a pandemic thing or whatever that. I just don't like being touched. And gay men are the worst with it. Because for some reason in the gay community, they have to hug. And I've always hated that. Always. And I just go completely rigid if somebody's trying to touch me or hold me. And I will say...
Yeah, I'm not a hugger either.
And I did say to people, I don't want to offend them, but, and especially in this, and a couple of them are trying to give me a hug, and I went, no. Thanks. I just, too soon. Kind of. But, and then I was sitting next to this one woman, when we were out there, and she kept talking to me and she kept touching me as she's talking, the hand on the arm kind of thing. And, oh yeah, Anya, don't touch me. I don't want to be touched. I never have liked being touched. I'm not a kisser. I'm not a hugger. Don't touch me. Just leave me alone. Don't take offense. Screw up. Kind of a thing. But anyways, so it was fun time. Met some new people. Well, a lot of them were new.
Saw some old people that
well, there were a lot of old people.
Saw some people that put on a lot of weight.
Oh wow, yeah. Ooh, okay. You've got the COVID poundage for sure on that. What people are saying? Teresa says, I've also used the large twister with a layer cake to make a quilt, use the spares to make part of the border. Yeah, I don't have the largest one yet. I've got everything else in between. Cheryl says, I know this is off topic, but tomorrow the heat index will be 106. Ooh, I don't need to be outside for fireworks. Where are you, Cheryl? I forget. Hi, Anna.
Southern U.S. somewhere.
Hi, Donna. Donna, no gold star for you either. You're late. Sorry. Teresa, we're seeing more cases after the Jubilee celebrations in Glastonbury Festival. Our work has just reintroduced mask wearing. Yeah, I know. And I'm anticipating, well, they've said already in Toronto, they do it, they check the water supply now.
No, the wastewater.
Or the wastewater. And I guess it's been going up a bit with the new variant, whichever, what's this one called? B something?
Yeah, B4 and B5, I think.
Oh, God. Hi, Am. Yeah, John, well, you'll have to do a hug virtually.
And I think I checked the ones in our locality, and it's listed as high.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
What, in wastewater?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Wonderful. So you know what that means. And then I heard a doctor, one of the public doctors or whatever, say on TV that you're not really fully vaccinated after 9 months. So you need to have a booster every 9 months now is what they're saying for that. So...
Well, I guess there's a big controversy right now in Ontario because Quebec is offering boosters for, like, we got the 4th booster, right?
Yeah.
And Quebec is offering boosters for people under 60. And Ontario, it's still 60 and above. Nobody under 60 is allowed to get it. So
that's our new
conservative government
Yeah.
working for us.
Yeah.
For the people.
Yeah, for the people. Not good with all that. But yeah, so I don't know. It's who knows. But
Jan just wants to hug both of us.
yeah, I know I said
Go
that.
ahead.
I told her it has to be virtual. Oh, Cheryl's in Kansas City, Missouri. Okay.
Okay, well, yeah, that's...
I guess that's hot. Yeah.
That would be hot for,
Yeah.
I guess, that area
Of the
of the
state.
U.S.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, luckily for us, our heat hasn't been
Our
unbearable.
this year has been a little weird. Is that we're so far we haven't had any really hot. We've only had a couple of really hot days,
Yeah.
and then in the evenings it seems to cool off a lot. Like we go down to like 12 or 13 sometimes at
Yeah.
night.
It's kind of a little bit different than that. But
The one nice thing is we haven't had to have the air conditioner on as much.
no. But talking about the air conditioner, this man. So it was time for our yearly checkup maintenance on our air conditioner. We pay for a plan with our our gas provider and everything to have both our furnace and our AC once a year. You make an appointment, they come, they check it, they clean the stuff, they make sure everything's operational and working fine. Okay. So that's great. So I tried to make this reservation or get my appointment in. I tried to do it a month and a half before my plan renewed itself. They wouldn't let me do that. My plan was to renew on June the 24th. They wouldn't let me do it until after June the 24th. Well, okay, they're busy. In the summertime, that's when everybody suddenly wants to have their AC and everything, working fine out of that. And so trying to book an appointment for them to come and do this kind of thing is not easy. So I thought I'd be proactive and go ahead with it. Now, they used to send you an email or about it saying, it's time to make your renewal and you could do it online. But they stopped doing that. I think when COVID hit for some reason, I don't know. So anyways, I waited and I actually called them on the 24th of June. Nope, gotta wait till the next day. Okay, called them the next day. Nope, couldn't do it. Wasn't in the system yet, the renewal. Give it another day. Called them the next day after that. So yeah, finally was able to book it, but the earliest they could come would be August the 16th. Well, for us here in Canada, August the 16th is pretty much getting towards the end of the summer. Really, what's the point then at that point kind of thing? So I said this to the person, and she said, well, I can put it through to the planning department, see if because sometimes they can, move it up or whatever. I said, okay, thank you. And she said they'd be in contact with me within 24 hours. I asked, will they really be? Oh, yes, they will for sure. And I said, and who do I contact when they don't contact me? Oh, they will contact you for sure. Guess what? They never contacted me. So I called again. This time I was looking for a number where I could complain about the service. Because every one of their numbers, they have 4 different numbers. That's 4. That's 3. That's 4. Okay. One number I thought was their head office, which is in towards Toronto area. That one's out of service. That's not good. The other 3 numbers all took you to the same menu system. So I just started hitting buttons, figuring I'm going to get somebody. And when I do, they'll have to direct me to who I need to speak to. Well, I did get somebody, and this person was willing to talk to me about the problem. But he was absolutely of no help whatsoever, because I told him what the problem was. I said, okay, look. I told him everything I did. And I said, I don't want to wait till August the 16th, and I pay for this service. I pay $10 a month for this service. So $120 a year for this. Not getting my money's worth here. Well, he says, well, what you could do is, I talked to another lady before that, and she actually was able to give me an earlier service. It was the same day as I made that call, but it was between 6 and 10 o'clock that night. I didn't care. Okay, we're going to be home. That's fine. But in the meantime, I wanted to complain about this other thing and see. His solution was, okay, after they do your service on it, cancel. Wait a few months, then then re-sign up for the service, and that'll stick the calendar year in a different way so you can get it earlier. Like wait till January. And I thought, that's not really a solution. Why can't you? I said to him, well, why can't I call in advance of my renewal date, make the arrangements, and if I don't renew, you'll just cancel me. Because I'm going to renew. Anyways, no, they can't do that. So I said, well, thank you for nothing, never mind. So the young lad comes that night I came early, came around 5 o'clock, which was okay. Called us and said, no, can I come earlier? I'm ahead of the schedule. I said, sure, by all means. So he comes and he does his thing with the air conditioner, and he comes in the house to check the furnace and everything with that part of it for the air conditioning. And he says, okay, there is a problem. I went, okay, what is it? And it was something to do with a solenoid or something in it. It needed to be a capacitor, whatever. Needed to be replaced. I stand corrected again. It's a round thing. I have no idea what it does. Electricity goes through it. And we said, well, okay. And he said, so he would make arrangements for a service technician to come out and that. And I said, well, we're covered for that, aren't we, in our plan? And he said, oh, do you have a protection plan? Well, I said, I have the plan that pays for you being here. And he went, he says, oh. He said, okay, but he says, I'm not sure, he says, whether that covers it or not. He had a brochure. The brochure wasn't much help with that. But then he says, rather than have somebody come out and do it, I can show you how to do it yourself. He says, and you get the part from Amazon. He says, it's a lot cheaper. He says, a service guy is going to cost you probably $120 just for them to come here, and then your part and the labor and everything else. And I said, okay, show me. So went right to my computer. I went into Amazon. I put in what he told me to put in. It came up. It was like $20. It's on Prime. We'd get it the next day. So I ordered it immediately. And then he took us outside and he showed us what we needed to do. And then he realized there wasn't a problem. He forgot, when he was doing whatever he was doing out there, he forgot to plug in something back in, and that's why it wasn't working. Now, he felt really bad about it, and he was really embarrassed. And so, we knew he was about the whole thing. He says, I am so sorry. He says, can you cancel? Yeah, I can cancel it. I said, I'll just go right down the computer and cancel right now. It's on Amazon. You can usually cancel within a few hours of ordering something. I said, don't. He was really upset that he had done this. And so we said to him when he was leaving because you always give them a rating online. We said, don't worry, we won't say anything about this. It's okay. But actually, I was kind of relieved about it. But then that meant I had to find out what we were covered for. Well, guess what? We weren't covered. Well, I didn't think we were. I thought we were. Then I look into it, and I read their brochure and their stuff on their website. And, they have these other plans that cover parts and labor and all this stuff and technicians if you have a problem. And those plans, though, are an additional amount of money. Now, you can get a 3-in-1 bundle that works out to $40 a month. But I didn't know whether or not that covered the annual maintenance as well, or if that was in addition to. So their brochure and their website didn't really say that clearly. So I called them up and I asked somebody, and she seemed to be in the know, and said, no, it would cost $10 for each of those for the AC and the furnace. So that's $20 a month. Plus on top of it, it would be another, it was another $25 for the protection plan. On top of that with it or whatever. It worked out to something like about $50 or $60 we'd have to pay a month for all of that. But she says, you don't need that. And I said, I don't. She says, no. Your furnace and your air conditioner are still under our warranty because we bought it from them. And we got it put in. I didn't know how long ago it was, but we looked up the bill. It was in 2015 that we had put in. She says, you don't need that protection plan until 2026 because right now you're covered by the warranty. So it covers all the parts and the labor. And I went, well, that impressed me that she actually told us that. Because I could see very easily them just not even knowing for one thing or even bothering with it, and then you'd be paying for something you didn't really need. So I did appreciate that. with them. So, okay. So we learn.
Yeah,
on that.
Teresa, the one problem with that is that we didn't have a warrant, we didn't have a protection plan. One time when they came and fixed our air conditioner, it was over $1,000. So
Yeah.
air conditioner fixes can be very expensive.
Yeah, very expensive. And that was quite a few years ago now.
Yeah.
That was before we got the new air conditioner and furnace and the whole bit. So, well, Teresa, if you can fix it yourself, more power to you. But we can't. So, hi, Janice. So anyways, yeah, that poor young guy, we gave him a good rating, though. I mean, he was trying to save us some money and everything, because he took it upon himself to show us what to do, and it looked pretty simple, and the part and the whole bit.
Yeah, but yeah, Teresa's also right. I mean, if you're paying $50 a month, it's like you're in a year that's over
500.
That's $600 a year.
Yeah, it is.
So I mean, if you have to pay $1,000 every once in a while.
Well, yeah, okay, that's true. That's true enough. So, well, we've got a few years yet till 2026 before we may have to make up our mind on what we're going to do about that kind of thing then. So, I don't know. But how much of that bill wouldn't be covered anyways? I'm not sure I understand. The protection plan actually covers everything, because I read it. The details of
Well, actually, they don't cover everything. They only cover certain components.
Well, yeah, but they're the main components.
Yeah.
Out of it all. And what they don't cover is if we had a boiler. And boiler parts. We don't have a boiler in there, so I don't know. My AC March and says furnace warranty covered parts, but not the labor. This one says it covers the labor too, so
We'll have to look at.
Yeah.
I'll look into it again.
Walter will give it the sooty eye, he'll give it the detailed once over, he'll make notes and whatever, but we don't have to worry about it until 2026. So we've got 4 years with this now, so that's a good thing. And that was nice of that woman to, well, it's her job, but so many of them wouldn't, because they don't even, their third-party calling center. The young lad told me, I said, I don't know if they're in India or why. He says the accent. He says, I think they're in Colombia. Colombia. And I'm telling you now, this woman that told me about the warranty business, I could actually understand her. But the other ones I talked to couldn't understand a word that was coming out of their mouth. And they talked at the speed of light, which made it even more difficult. I had to ask them to, could you slow way down? And I said, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm having a very hard time understanding your accent. So, I wish companies didn't do that, but it's cheap labor, so I guess. Hi, Hazel Ann. So anyways, that's we learned a few things that day. Okay, so we had Canada Day, as we said, and the protesters were at it in Ottawa again. However, the city of Ottawa, for those of you that might not know, is the capital of Canada. And we had all those protesters back in the winter, the truckers and the whole bit, the bunch of yahoos that they are, and they caused a lot of havoc in Ottawa and whatnot. So the cops in Ottawa have said that they were prepared for them. They cordoned off the area in front of Parliament Hill so that anybody with a vehicle couldn't get too close. And that's where the center of activities are and everything for it. The protesters came. We have no idea what they're protesting. The anti-mask or the mask mandate has been lifted across the country. They're claiming that they have no freedoms in this country. As our Prime Minister said, we have the most freedoms of any country in the world. And I'm not sure if that's absolutely true, but we're damn close if it's not the best. There are very few restrictions put upon Canadian citizens. There are less restrictions on us than there are on Americans, believe it or not. And yeah, these people haven't got a clue. They don't like the Trudeau government. Fine, that's what voting is for, But they want to overthrow the government. But to what end? And what are they going to replace the government with? These people, you can put them all in one big group, and there's still not one full brain there at all. A couple of their rabble-rousing leaders are still in, they call it detention. you know, and everything like that. And one of their little leaders, this bitch of a woman, she violated her probation.
What do you call it? Not probation.
Not probation.
Bail.
Bail conditions. And now they've thrown her back in prison. This is the mentality that we're dealing with here. They're flying the Canadian flag upside down. And then people are saying, when you see somebody toting a flag when it's upright and the whole bit, you don't know whether they are supporting what the flag represents, you know, Canada, the good parts of our country, or whether they're flying it in protest. It's very, very confusing. I don't have a problem with them protesting as long as they're not creating havoc for other people. And then
there are a bunch of people that aren't happy with whatever the system is, and I'm still not 100% sure why exactly or what exactly they're protesting. And they're not happy with the system of the way it is, but they don't give you any alternatives. They don't really tell you what it is that they're really protesting. They're saying they're protesting they don't have any freedoms. And I think a lot of it was no mask mandates, no vaccine mandates, no that. That's part of it. But there's other stuff that they're protesting. Yeah. They don't like the current government in power, and they just don't give it. But the thing is other people around, the majority of Canadians are fine with the way the system is. Yeah. So,
but of course, then you have to look at the media. The media gives these people, empowers them more than they should be empowered, because you know what the media does? It focuses right on the sensationalism and the negativism, and they make a small group of people in society look like they're a majority of society, and they are not. So they did take a few of them away, arrested a few of them for whatever, but I don't think there wasn't that much on the news. I think
there was a couple of people that were arrested because they assaulted a police officer, which obviously is a warrant for arrest.
Well, yeah. So. Like, so, I mean, I don't know what they think they're going to gain by all of this. They're not going to overthrow our government. It's just not going to happen. So why don't they take all of that energy and put it towards something good instead of being a bunch of whiny bitches? Because that's what they are with it all. What are people saying here?
Patsy asked if you got her name and employee number.
No, I didn't think about it at the time. Yeah, probably should have, and just said, you know, here's an example of a good employee.
Or you've got, if for some reason our furnace does break down, and we find out that we aren't covered.
And then I could say that, yeah, well, that's true too. I didn't think about that at the time. Probably should have. Anna says, fix the AC myself. YouTube tutorials. Replace capacitor. Kept an extra one on hand. Yeah, they're not that expensive. Like, they're $20 Canadian on Amazon. Free shipping with Prime. So yeah, maybe that's not maybe.
The only thing is with fixing the AC yourself is you gotta know what to fix.
Yeah, well, the guy did show us.
Yeah, the guy showed us, but I'm just saying that we can't just, if something goes wrong, we still need somebody to diagnose it.
Well, yeah, because we don't know that. And it is an electrical thing, you know. It's like, speaking of dangerous things you can learn on YouTube, have you seen they've been around for a while, but people are dying. This fractal burning into wood burning, they call it. And okay, let's talk. This would be something I'm sure those protesters that went to Ottawa would be much into, because it takes about the same level of mentality to do it. Apparently, people are taking.
It's a component of a microwave.
Well, that's part of what they're using, but they have used other things as well. But I guess the ones that they've been talking about, they take out the power supply, the generator or something, in a microwave, which actually steps up the voltage from your household current to something
much higher,
much higher, much more dangerous. Okay, and then they take two wires, attach them to this thing, attach the end of those wires to like a nail, a heavy nail or a piece of metal or something, or clamps, plug it in, and then hold it over a piece of wet wood and burn designs in it. And it's like an electrical bolt, like a lightning bolt. You can see it on there, and it burns these. Yeah, they're fascinating looking patterns, but also they kill people because
lots of people in the U.S. and everywhere around the world have
died
from
this.
And even people that should know better, the electricians and stuff like that, that say, "Well, I'm an electrician. I know how to handle this."
And electricians have died.
They've died from it.
One guy said he was an electrician. He was wearing gloves for this, like insulated gloves or something, and holding them, and it melted the gloves to his hand, and he got electrocuted. He lived, but he showed his hands, and not pretty. They showed another person's hands that this person survived, but it had basically burned off 2 or 3 of their fingers, and they showed what her hand looked like now after surgery, and it's still like, I can only imagine what it looked like before surgery because it was gross. So there is this lady, you may have heard of her. She has a YouTube channel. She's in Australia. She's actually a cook. She's a food scientist, basically. But she often does videos where she debunks these 5-minute hacks for cooking ideas, like I threw an egg in the toilet and let it spin and it came out scrambled, stuff like that, ridiculous things. And she recreates them and shows you why they won't work. And so she put up a video talking about this fractal burning and talking about how dangerous it is and everything, and that shouldn't be allowed on YouTube. YouTube took down her video for this. Yet they were allowing all kinds of videos on fractal burning to remain on YouTube. She protested it against YouTube and actually got petitions signed by her viewers and other people to send to YouTube and say, this is ridiculous. Why are you putting down something that's meant to help people to save their lives? But you're allowing this dangerous thing to be on YouTube. Well, YouTube did back down and reinstated her thing, and are now saying that they're going to ban those other types of videos. But as she said in her YouTube, a week or so later, they're still all up there as well with it. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, just look up fractal wood burning, and you'll see how dangerous this is. Anybody with half a brain could figure out, you don't play with electricity. Okay? I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. But there's a lot of things on YouTube like that are dangerous, and YouTube allows them on there. So much for but they'll censor other things. There's no rhyme or reason to it. I know it's all done with algorithms. Well, they need to rewrite some of their algorithms for that kind of thing. Laura says, wow, those wood burners are candidates for annual Darwin Awards. That's right. They're not long out of the trees, those idiots. But and how sudden it happened. I mean, I've heard of people dying for their art, but this is ridiculous. It really is. But
like there was a lady that they interviewed that her husband was thinking he was making Christmas presents for people, and in an instant you get electrocuted, and that's it.
Yeah.
Right. And he died making this stuff.
And there was another couple that the husband was doing this. He got electrocuted. The wife was there. She went over to try and pull him away from it, and she got electrocuted, and they both died. Because you can't touch another person that's got electricity running through them. You've got to turn off your power, for that. I mean, even then, it's going to be probably too late. And I guess, and also in that same situation where the husband and wife died, their house burned down too, in the process too. So, well, I guess they wouldn't be using it anyways. But dark humor. But it's the stupid things. And that just makes me think of all the other, how people are so misled because it's on YouTube. Because it's on YouTube, it must be right. And this all comes from, I'm not saying that looking up how to fix your AC on YouTube. We've looked up things on how to, fix a dishwasher or different problems. But your brain should kick in too. Like, how much of what I'm watching here is safely done and how much of it could be a danger, like a fire hazard, an electrocution, something like that, poison, whatever. But there's a company out there that puts out all these 5-minute hacks, and they do a whole series. They've got 5-minute craft hacks, 5-minute cooking hacks, all kinds of 5-minute hacks for home decor or whatever. It's a mill. It comes out of, I think, out of China or Asia or someplace like that. And the sole job of all these people is to create these videos. And what they do is they steal footage from other legitimate YouTube videos, cut it down so it's only a couple of minutes, and they substitute the end product with something that was never done by this method. So, they show you how to decorate a cake using a turntable and a water bottle full of icing or something, and you spin it on, it comes out beautiful. Yeah. So,
yeah, or what they'll do, or they do something ridiculous, stick it in the oven, and then the next take you pull it out and it's this beautiful cake or something like that, and it's all garbage. It doesn't
work.
You can't do it that way or anything.
But the reason they produce these videos is because of the number of hits they get, because they're all monetized. And that's basically, this is a business where they don't care about what they're putting up. All they're doing is they have clickbait and they want to pull people in so that they get the advertising dollars. And they produce hundreds, thousands of these things every week. And they have their viewers. If you look at how many views, they're in the millions for it. And yeah, I've watched some of them too, because you're pulled in. You're going, no, you can't possibly do that. Natural curiosity, that's what they play on, and you go and you watch it. But her name is Anne Reardon, and
she does a lot of actual cooking stuff too.
How to Cook That. It's called How to Cook That, and she has a couple of cookbooks out as well. And like I said, she is a food scientist, and she's a really good cook. And she shows you a lot of really interesting things. But on the side, she will do these debunking videos, which are really interesting as well with them. So, yeah, you might want to look her up and check her out if you don't know who it is. Anne Reardon, How to Cook That is what the YouTube channel is called. So anyways, what else? Anything coming up? Oh, my birthday. Yes, it's my birthday coming next week.
Yeah, it's officially old.
You should look this good. In fact, someone paid me a compliment. The guy who's hosting the party. Walter thought that this friend of ours was 69, and I said, I don't. If he's 69, he looking damn good for 69.
I was reading something about happy 69th birthday on Facebook for him. So I think that was a joke.
Maybe that was a joke.
Yeah.
So, they got you. Anyways, no, he's like 61. Anyways, I said to him, well, Walter saw something on him. It's only 69. And I said, there's no way you could possibly be 69. And if you were 69, you look marvelous. If anybody remembers that reference. But he said, I said to him, yeah, we're all older than you are. I said, I'm going to be 65 in another week. And he goes, you don't look 65. And
I look 105.
Okay, pick one. That's the one. I said, yeah, moisturize. Start early. Have to use a lot of moisturizer. Yeah, well, he was being nice. Actually, the sad part about this is our friend just got diagnosed with cancer. He's got
biliary cancer. It's in your bile ducts.
Yeah, and it's not looking good. He's been going through chemo and everything. Actually, he was looking a little skinnier, of course, and maybe a little worn out, but he didn't look too bad. But he said he was very tired all the time. And then they just discovered that I guess it was up here was affecting him more, but now they have discovered a couple of smaller tumors down the lower areas of his body. And I don't know. And he was telling me all about this, and we're having this conversation. And what do you say that doesn't sound like, a platitude? Like, well, don't give up hope. Doctors don't know everything. Oh, well, there's miracles. Oh, and all this kind of stuff. And yeah, you're trying to say nice things, to give them reassurance, but the fact is, nobody knows, right? And I just find it very awkward. And so I guess you just have to sit there and you just listen and don't dismiss the person, because obviously he had a need to talk about it and everything. So, which, yeah, I could understand that. So, but it's just, I gave him a quilt back when we first found out about it. Took over a table runner. Remember that table runner? I had the problem with the applique on. I didn't like it. I fixed that, but I talked about that in Idiot Quilter. So, yeah, it's kind of sad that when you hear about that, because he said, he made a comment. His dad is 92, and I guess going pretty strong. And he said, he said, first of all, it was a little confusing. He said, I'm hoping that...
I think he said he was hoping he'd outlive his dad.
Outlive his father. Yeah. And so I'm thinking, well, my first impression of that comment was, so you want to be 92? Then you're hoping for 92, which is not impossible with it all. But what he meant was he didn't want to pass away before his father, kind of a thing. So it's kind of sad, but that was why he was having this party. He debated whether to have it this year, but he probably figured, and it's a sad thought, but he might not get another opportunity with it all. So I hope the day was good for him. I think it was. And yeah, kind of sad when you hear about these things. It's just, what can you do? And then our other friend that's in the hospital that had the brain bleed, he's still in the hospital. He's improving slowly, but he's got a long way to go. I guess now he's talking more. He's still being fed, though, intravenously.
Through a tube.
Or through a tube, yeah, feeding tube. And that. I guess a couple of other people we know had seen him in the hospital and said, like, this man that we know, he's a big man, like big and boned, kind of a thing.
Very tall.
Very tall, very wide. And I don't mean wide as in humongously fat or anything like that. He's just big bone structure and the whole bit. And I guess they said his legs are like toothpicks.
Yeah, well, that's because he's been in bed since
May 5th. He can't walk on his own. No. They get him up, I guess, in the hospital and take him for, a little bit of a stroll, as much as he can do. It's part of his physio for all of that. But his mind is fine and everything, they said, But they figured, well, what they were talking, when they saw him, they said, he's not coming out of the hospital too soon. They moved him from intensive care into the stroke area of the hospital now. So, and I guess the staff at the hospital he's in, was in the same town as where we went to the Canada Day party, have been really good.
Actually, that's the same hospital your mother was in before she went to the nursing home, and they were very good in there.
They're very attentive. They're very, they're very kind to people in there too as well. So, and considering that these nurses and everything are like overworked, to say the least, how they are able to, I think you have to be a special kind of person to do that kind of job, because let's face it, who wants to clean up things that come out of everybody else's body and you're around sick people all day long? That's got to be a downer, to say the least. So these are people that have really good spirit, I think, with that. So anyways, yeah, it seems, talk about feeling old. When we went to that party, I'm looking around, where did all these old people come from? Yes, I'm not. I still just look, I have the body of a 20-year-old, but apparently I have to give it back because I've been abusing it. So, whatever. Yeah, wish. But, yeah, no, I just have my jaw problem. My back isn't really that bad. Not since I got the new sewing chair. in that. Of course,
The one I'm sitting on, and that makes me sore.
Of course, you went off to the urologist because your PSA
was elevated.
and then the doctor said to you, well, he didn't know why that would be. That seemed unusual, and now he's checking out that.
So I gotta wait a month and go next month again.
And what do you say about your sugar level?
He didn't test my sugar level.
Well, you said your sugar level was up.
Well, that was in the last, but that was in the last regular physical that I had, but it wasn't over what it should be.
Okay. Walter is a hypochondriac as well. Everything, if he gets a sniffle, it's cancer. His head will drop off in the morning. I've yet to see that happen. If I hear something in the night go clunk, roll, 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 I'll know, oh, head came off. Okay. Well, I have a glue gun. I can fix it. So, but anyways, but talking about sugar levels, Walter has something new he's creating now. Your creamy delight.
Oh, well, we've been watching this video called Glenn and Friends, and it's a cooking show, and they've been doing a series on no churn ice creams, so I thought I'd try it. It's not low fat.
No, because it uses what?
It uses whipping cream and
a liter of whipping cream.
No, it uses 3/4 of a liter.
Oh, excuse me. I stand corrected.
Mm-hmm. 3 cups of whipping cream, and a can of condensed milk, which is also high in calories.
Hi, Veronica.
And then you just add flavorings to it on top of that. And you whip your whipping cream and you mix your condensed milk into it.
There is a secret, though, to making it creamy and getting less ice crystals. You got to put booze in it.
You're supposed to put anything that has an alcohol base in it, about 3 tablespoons of it.
Actually, you can, if you don't want to put like a liqueur in it or something to enhance your flavor and reduce the ice crystals, you can just use vanilla extract, because apparently vanilla extract is 40% alcohol. So
yeah, any of the extracts have alcohol in it. So anyway, and then you just mix it all together and freeze it.
So the first flavor Walter has made is made with crushed up Dutch cookies that are ginger
speculaas, which is a ginger type cookie,
and something that we did not know existed, but we saw it on the video, and so we got some. It's called cookie butter.
You buy it in, well, I don't know if everybody can get it, but in our it's a store brand product that is sold in a chain store in Canada called
Loblaws Superstore. There's a chain, different ones. They're all owned by the same company.
And it's called cookie butter, and it's in the peanut butter aisle. And it's a speculaas, if people know Dutch. It's a speculaas cookie butter, and it tastes just like speculaas. So.
And it is fantastic. Not just for in your ice cream. We had some pound cake that we bought at Costco, and it was all pre-sliced kind of a thing, because we've been eating a lot of strawberries lately because 'tis the season. And but these are already pre-cut. It was like 3 different kinds. You know how Costco is. You get like a vat of something. So I took what was left of that and I wrapped them up individually and put them in a bag in the freezer, so you can take them out whenever you want them, one at a time. But I thought the other morning, that would be really tasty, slightly toasted with some of that speculaas cookie butter stuff on it. So I did. My new love. I love it more than peanut butter. It is so good, and it's so light.
Well, it's the same calories as peanut butter, but absolutely, but not very much nutritional value.
Oh, the hell with nutrition.
But it is very tasty.
Yeah, good. So now we're talking about possibly buying a ice cream maker, but not one that has like they can be pricey if you get one that has a compressor in it and everything. We're looking at the ones that you take the bowl that you put the ingredients in and you put it in your freezer for a while first, and then you put it in and you can churn your ice cream with it that way, just to try. Because with those, you can actually use a combination of milk and cream. You don't need to use whipping cream. This recipe is a no churn one, and you have to use whipping cream with it and condensed milk. Whereas if you get one of these other things, you can,
you can use whipping. You still use whipping cream, but you add milk with it and stuff like that.
Yeah, you cut back,
on the fat.
A little less fat in it, and you can do other things with it too for your flavoring and whatnot too. So we'll see. But
Paula says cookie butter is delicious. I love it.
Yeah. Where do you get yours, Paula? We'd never heard about this until we saw the video.
Yeah. I never looked for it.
And the guy was cooking Glenn and Friends cooking or something, or cooking with Glenn and Friends.
Yeah.
He's Canadian. He lives in one of the towns to the east of us, just not too far
West
away.
of us.
West of us. I stand corrected. If you're keeping charts, or that could become a drinking game, you'll probably be drunk before the end of today's video.
Patsy says talk about pounds.
Yeah. I got the Ninja Creamy. 85 turns anything into ice cream. I saw that on a YouTube video, but it seems like you don't get that much out of it. It seems kind of small, at least the one I saw. I don't know. How much do you get out of it, Laura? Okay. You can get it at Walmart. Yeah.
I'll have to take a look.
Yeah, we're going to take a look around for these things. Who knows? Don't want to spend a whole lot. We do eat a lot of ice cream, but, well, I love ice cream. It's a totally food.
I usually
food
can
group
sort of go in spurts and take it.
Yeah, but he's an enabler. So he'll go, oh, did you get ice cream? And then I say, oh, what flavor? Oh, I don't care. And then I go, well, how about, nah, I don't. Well, what about, nah. What flavor would you like? I've never met a flavor of ice cream I don't like, but there are some I prefer over others. My father would only eat vanilla. Oh, if he wanted to get fancy, he'd have French vanilla. You go to a Baskin & Robbins, 32 flavors, he'd have vanilla. All the time, vanilla. And I think, I don't mind vanilla, but when there's so many other flavors as well.
Well, actually, the one nice thing about if you make it yourself, is you can customize your flavors.
Yeah. Paula says you get about a cup and a half.
Which isn't very much.
Well, that's me one sitting. Okay. That's what he puts on my cone. When Walter makes ice cream cones, and he does, they're like this.
And the recipe that I got for the Glenn and Friends thing, it makes a good sized bowl full. I don't know how big it is, but
yeah,
it's almost like a liter and a half or a couple of liters.
Yeah. So, but that is, of course, because you're really not limited by the size of, you're only limited by the size of your container. But if you get one of these ice cream things, we'll have to check out what the capacity
Well, the
is.
one that I saw had a 2-liter capacity. So.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah.
That would be okay. But the one I saw, the Ninja one that they were showing on YouTube that I saw, cup and a half. I thought, you go through all of that? And this guy was doing a complete review, and he was working through the recipe book and everything.
I'm not really interested in one that does all kinds of weird things. I'm just interested in one that just makes plain old ice cream. So,
yeah. Well, anyways, we'll see.
I'll have to take a look.
That's our adventure next week. Maybe we'll do a video about it. Who knows? Our adventure into making our own ice cream. Now, I guess you could make sorbet.
Yeah, you can. Too. Yeah.
And what's the difference? Sorbet is just water, isn't it?
Sorbet has
water and fruit juice.
Like that, and I think it also has. I think it has a certain amount of milk in it.
Yeah, I like sorbet. I love rainbow sorbet. That was always my favorite. Or sherbet. Now, I've always confused. Is just sorbet just French for sherbet? Or is sherbet different somehow than sorbet?
I don't know.
Because I remember as a kid having sherbet, but now you don't see sherbet. You always see sorbet. Maybe we're reading the wrong side of the packaging. It is Canada. Never flip it around to the English.
Yeah, who knows? So we'll have to look that up.
Laura says she uses hers for sorbet. Yeah, we all scream for ice cream. And Janice says, that sounds just like my dad. Don't bring any other than vanilla ice cream. Yep, that was my father. And my father had a hate on for strawberry ice cream. And apparently that was left over from when he was a kid. You know, in the days when they used to have strawberry socials or something. I guess as a little kid, they went to one of those little community events and he ate a lot of strawberry ice cream at this and got sick. And from that day, since he was a little kid, he would not touch strawberry ice cream.
Actually, my dad was always one for vanilla too. He used to get ticked off when my mom bought chocolate. So,
but a funny thing was, though, my father loved strawberries, but not strawberry ice cream with it.
yeah, so sorbet is the same as sherbet.
Sherbet is the American term. Okay, so there we go. With that, learn something new every day, don't we? So sorbet is the French, I guess, for that. Ooh, poutine sorbet, poutine flavored sorbet. Well, they do have weird. There are places that do have like gross sounding flavors of ice cream, like wasabi ice cream. Actually, I think I tried wasabi ice cream once a little bit, and it was a little different. I kind of like the taste of wasabi though, but
I had green tea ice cream before.
I had that once.
It's all right,
too.
but I'm not thrilled.
I wasn't thrilled with it. No, I'm not a big fan of any kind of ice cream that has a mocha to it, like a coffee. I mean, I like coffee, but I'm not.
Yeah, my mom was really into mocha, and I could sort of take or leave it too.
Yeah, I didn't like it. Now, one of the ice creams that this Glenn and Friends he made one from something that Americans can't get, Coffee Crisp, chocolate bars. He had coffee, and it's mocha, and he used a coffee liqueur in it as well. I don't know. Coffee Crisp, I don't hate Coffee Crisp. My mother used to love Coffee Crisp chocolate bars. That was one of her favorite. But that's not something, apparently you can't get Coffee Crisp chocolate bars in
the flavor of the cookie butter is actually, if you know what Dutch speculaas is, well, it's sort of gingery. Like a gingerbread.
It's like gingerbread.
It's a gingerbread flavor, I guess you best call it.
Yeah, it's sort of a gingerbread.
A spice cookie, like spice cake sort of flavor.
Well, it's ginger.
Yeah.
It's basically ginger. Yeah. They're quite good. We get them at the Dutch store, although they were in
the speculaas, yeah.
Yeah, the speculaas, the cookies themselves. Because in the ice cream recipe, there are you crushed up speculoos in them, right?
Yeah, as well, yeah.
Speculoos. Sounds like something you go to the doctor for and they examine you with it.
That's a speculum.
Oh, okay. Well, that wouldn't be tasty. I don't know. Oh, well, you love gingerbread then, Patsy. You would like this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can get it in the States or not. It's called cookie butter.
It's just called cookie. It said the one that we got says cookie butter, but it does say speculaas underneath it.
Yeah. And it was in the peanut butter section.
Yeah.
In the store we went to anyway. So it's quite tasty. So we have lettuce coming out of our ears. We do have 2 green peppers. Is Angel on here today? No, she's not. They're at about the $2.99 size at the moment, but they are getting bigger as well. But we only have 2, so we'll have to save those for a special thing. Maybe I shouldn't cut them up.
Actually, I think there's a 3rd one coming.
Oh, that'll be nice. They don't have the lettuce is nice and high. We had 2 little cherry tomatoes off our thing. They were small ones though. There's a whole bunch more coming, but it's still like early yet. They'll start to blossom soon. And we're going out for dinner next week, not this week coming, the week after, for my birthday. We're going to the Keg, which is one of our favorite restaurants, which we haven't been to in a long time. Yes, you do need a small mortgage to eat there with that. But all the points that I've been saving up during COVID on my Visa card, because I pay for everything on Visa and I get all these points, I was able to get $300 worth of gift cards, 3 $100 gift cards using my points for the Keg. So I'm taking myself out with Walter for my birthday. What's wrong with that? I don't know. Anyways, that's fine. We're going there, so we're having whatever we want. Like that. And a little surf and turf. I don't know if they have surf and turf. Actually, I saw a menu for a restaurant someplace around Toronto and they were advertising surf and turf, New York strip loin steak with I don't know how big it was,
Small lobster tail,
and a 7-ounce lobster tail, $72.50 Canadian. I mean, surf and turf is expensive no matter what, but boy, that seems like way out there now. So, yeah, we actually can do our own surf and turf for a lot less than that. We buy a big piece of beef tenderloin. You cut it all into filet mignon and steaks. And Costco we bought some back. When was that? In December. They had these frozen lobster tails.
Mm-hmm.
And we only bought one package of them. I think there's 5 in a package for $30. But they're a good. How big are they?
I'm not sure. Actually, the whole package is 1.5 pounds. So
okay, so they were a decent size, and they were really, really good. But every time we've gone back to Costco, they've never had them again until about a week ago. They had them again, and we bought 2 bags of them to have them. And we were in the other day into Costco. So every time we go to Costco, we look to see if they have more because they're so good. And that price is
and they're Canadian lobsters.
Yeah. So they're lobster, eh? Yeah, a little bit of humor there. But yeah, so well, I don't know. I don't think there's anything else to talk about. It's been a slow week. Well, we had the party. Yeah, next week, Craft and Chat. Yay. Always look forward to Craft and Chat. I hope you people do as well. Well, I know some of you do. For sure. So that's Wednesday. And other videos will come out next week as per usual. Well, we do have visitors. We're having company too next weekend. Overnight guests.
I actually take the meat out of the lobster tails, Patsy, and I put them in my sous-vide, which is boil in a bag, and I heat them up for up to an hour at 133. 133 Fahrenheit, and they come out perfect.
Yeah, actually, they really come out well. He does the steak the same way, and then you sear the steak after it's been in the sous vide, and it comes out perfect. We like ours medium, and it comes out absolutely exactly that.
Actually, I do the medium rare.
Okay, I stand corrected again. How many times is that now? I don't know. Walter doesn't deal in generalities, as I'm sure you've noticed.
If I do steak in the sous vide, I usually do them at 131. But if we're doing lobster at the same time, then a couple of degrees doesn't make any difference. So
next weekend, we're planning to do surf and turf when our friends come over. But our one of our friend out of the couple that are coming, he likes his steak very well done, like burn one. So that one will get with the sous vide.
Yeah, what I do is I'll cook his first in the sous vide and at a higher temperature, and then put it back in later at the lower temperature when I'm cooking the other ones.
Yep.
And it heats through, and that way when I throw it on the barbecue to sear it, it's sous vide. It's SOUSVIDE, sous vide. Look it up. It's a heat. You put it in.
It's a rod.
It's a heater that heats water to a certain temperature, and the water is always at that temperature. And then you put your meat into either a vacuum bag, or you can put it in a Ziploc bag and evacuate most of the air in it. And you put that into the water bath, and the meat heats through evenly at a certain temperature. And then what you do have to do is at the end of that, you have to sear your meat so that you get a crust on either side, but the middle is done exactly the way you want it.
Yeah, because when it comes out of the sous vide, it isn't looking all that appetizing.
And a lot of high-end restaurants cook their meats that way. So
yeah, and you can also, if you go on to YouTube and you look at sous vide cooking, you'll find that people will sometimes they'll put like butter and garlic in with the meat in the plastic bag or whatever, in the sealing bag into it to infuse some flavor. Now, we tried that.
I usually just put some pepper on it.
Yeah, with it, and that does work too. But there's all kinds of different things people will try to put into in with those kind of things. And I mean, you don't have to do.
Yeah, there's lots of tutorials on YouTube on how to use it. Some you can buy as a unit that heats up, but the one I have is a stick that goes into the side of a pot or
And Walter bought these big plastic industrial strength
containers.
the kind of thing they use in restaurants for mixing up things in and whatnot. And that's just the right size to put the water in and everything. He's even done creme brulee.
Yeah, actually, it works really good for creme brulee too. So
You don't put it in a plastic bag.
I do them in not vacuum in what do you call it? The canning jars.
Mason jars, but
Mason
the
jars?
small ones,
Yeah.
you know, so they're like individual servings kind of
Yeah,
a thing.
and it does a really good job making those too.
What else have we done in the sous vide besides shrimp, steak, and...
I've tried
creme brulee?
vegetables, but I didn't really like.
No, the vegetables, it wasn't really any interested in vegetables. But there are other things you can do with it, too, as well. It's actually, if you're really picky about how your meat comes out or anything like that, it's a good investment. They're not that expensive. They're what?
They're $150 or something like that. I don't know. The one that I bought, I got on sale for $100. So
Actually, I think you can get them on Amazon a little cheaper. I thought
No, I
I thought
don't think
80
so.
or 90. You know?
the Anova is a popular model that, and they're over $100, I think.
Okay. Well, whatever. But, you know, if you're kind of a foodie or whatever, it's a good investment because we use it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, when I have cooked steaks before, I almost always screwed it up, and they ended up being more well done than I
Then would
never
you ever want them?
than when I ever wanted them. So with the sous vide, I never screwed up. So
No. Oh my God. I never thought I would hear in the same sentence Walter say something that he did and then use the word screw up. Well, on that note, I think we should go.
yeah,
Okay. So have a great, for the Americans, have a great 4th of July tomorrow and everything. And everybody else, enjoy the rest of the weekend. And hope you have a good week coming up. And we'll see you all next week. See you later. Say goodbye, Walter.
goodbye.